guy, very, very well liked, very, very well respected. It is a loss for our agency. It is a loss for our community.
With the community rallying around our law enforcement, showing their support in this tragic time.
This is our way of giving back to them and saying thank you for not only your service, but for paying the ultimate sacrifice.
We were also told tonight that the funeral plans have started for Deputy Flick, and of course we'll pass those along to you just as soon as we get them. Live in Colorado Springs, Casey Kirshner, KRDO News Channel 13.
Casey, thank you. And people at the tail end of that procession also came out in force to honor the fallen deputy, waiting in the cold and windy night, all to say thank you to a man who gave the ultimate sacrifice. KRDO News Channel 13's Chase Golightly was there and spoke to those paying their respects.
The flag was set to half staff outside the El Paso County Corrections Center. The sheriff's deputies, police officers, and dozens of those in the community came together to say goodbye to Deputy Micah Flick.
I think it's just a sad loss for the community. It's just a sad loss for the community.
Law enforcement leaning on each other, embracing in the face of grief. People bringing flags to show support. Dozens waited for the long motorcade to bring the fallen deputy. After driving from the hospital where Flick was pronounced dead, people stood in silence, watching as the cars and motorcycles drove by. Then when the hearse carrying Flick arrived, tears were shed and a final salute was given. Those who attended the procession say their thoughts and prayers are with family, friends of Deputy Flick. Others saying it's comforting to see the community come together to support our law enforcement during a deadly year.
Everybody hates everything all the time lately, and it's good to show this much love. You know, you don't see a whole lot of it.
Many praying that the other deputies injured in the shooting will be okay.
Thankfully, this is not a common occurrence in southern Colorado, but Colorado Springs is no stranger to tragedy in the line of duty. Most recently, on November 27th of 2015, UCCS campus police officer Garrett Swasey was shot and killed as he responded to the Planned Parenthood shooting. The legal status of the shooter, Robert Deere, remains in limbo as he undergoes mental treatment before he can stand trial. Before that, you have to go back to 2006. That's when CSPD officer Jared Jensen was killed while attempting to arrest a parolee wanted for attempted murder. The suspect was eventually captured and convicted in 2008. And viewers may also remember the case of Officer Ken Jordan. Jordan was shot and killed after pulling over a suspected drunk driver back in December of 2005. The suspect was shot and taken into custody and is now serving a life sentence.
And of course, this all comes on the heels of two deadly shootings involving deputies in the Denver metro area. It was the morning of New Year's Eve when a group of deputies was ambushed at the Copper Creek Apartments in Douglas County. Deputy Zachary Parrish was gunned down when a suspect opened fire during a standoff. 3 other deputies and a Castle Rock police officer were wounded in that confrontation. Then just 3 weeks later, Adams County Deputy Heath Gum was shot in the chest by a suspect while responding to reports of a street fight. Gum was killed despite wearing a bulletproof vest and was laid to rest this past Friday. We will continue to bring you updates and alerts as soon as they happen. Just be sure and download our KRDO News app. You can find it in your app store.
We'll also have complete coverage tomorrow on Good Morning Colorado from 4:30 a.m. to 7 o'clock. We don't want to go ahead and take a short break. First up, though, a peek at some big weather changes that are coming overnight. Stay